If you're tired of making beautiful plans and having the perfect time block schedule just to not follow through on it, or have things come up in your life that completely derail your plan repeatedly, this episode is going to change your life. There is a way to actually follow through on your schedule, hit your deadlines, and finally stop feeling behind. Welcome back to the Fire Inside podcast, the podcast for ambitious women just like you who want to get all they desire done without burning out. I'm your host, Sade Kelly, high performance coach, wife, and mom who's on a mission to help you reclaim 10 or more hours back into your week so you can grow your career, grow your business, stay consistent, and do more of what matters most to you without any burnout, without any stress or overwhelm. Because it is completely possible to be the boss you desire to be in all the areas of your life while still being soft and feminine in the ways that you desire as well. Step one to sticking to your schedule and actually following through on what you say you're gonna do is to plan like a human, not like a robot. Okay, so many of us think we are superwomen. We think we are superheroes. We think we can do any and everything at the exact same time. We think we can figure out how to get 50 things done on Monday. It's not possible. Stop filling up every single second of your day. Most people fail at scheduling because they don't know how to be realistic, right? They plan like a robot with unlimited hours and unlimited energy. You do not have unlimited hours and you do not have unlimited energy. So stop planning like that, because when you plan like that, you're going to always be behind. And you're going to be sitting here wondering like, well, why can't I get these things done? How come I'm time blocking like this guru said, or I'm following the schedule that my mentor follows, but you are not them. So stop creating these schedules that are unrealistic, that makes it set out like you're a robot, or you're following plans that you've seen other people online or other people in your life or your boss or your friend do that doesn't work for you. One thing I love helping women do in my programs is create a schedule based off of you. That is why I do not use cookie cutter, this is the schedule you should follow. Yes, I have frameworks, but there is no one set schedule everyone should be doing. I have to get to know you on a deeper level, as well as you need to know yourself on a deeper level. Know your productivity patterns, know your beliefs, know what you like, know what you value in order to create a schedule that makes the most sense for you. If you're someone who needs help doing that, I highly recommend either getting my time management starter kit, which is a great place to start to learn how to start managing your time better, setting better goals, and following through on what you say you're gonna do. Or book a one-on-one consultation with me where you can get the fast track on how I can help you do that. And in just an hour's time, I will literally put together a blueprint for you. But essentially, that is the first step. I want you to break down big projects and tasks that you tend to give yourself into small little steps, and then give yourself as much time as possible to get those things done, but also give yourself lots of space throughout the day. So if you're wondering, what the heck does that mean, Sade? What I mean is, when you set up your priorities for every single day, right? Because if you're not doing that already, you need to be doing that. You need to already be doing a weekly brain dump in your work, your business, your personal life, whatever areas of your life. And then I want you to figure out what are your priorities for each day. And I want you to set your priorities based on certain time frames that you have. So if you know you have 2 hours worth of deep work, meaning you have 2 hours worth of time where you can deeply focus on something, give yourself 1 task to do, or maybe 2-3 tasks to do, depending on how much time it takes. But you want to give yourself ample time, but at the same time, not too much time. And the reason I say not too much time is because of Parkinson's law. How much time we give ourselves off is how much time we take. How much space you give yourself is how much space it will take up, right? That's essentially what the law says. So I want you to give yourself a realistic amount of time to get the task done, but also don't give yourself too much time where you can procrastinate and you can put it off because you're like, oh, that'll only take me 20 minutes and I have 40 minutes to do it. That's not the point. I want you to give yourself enough time where it's like, I'm giving myself gracious time to get this done, but not too much time where it's like, I'm going to procrastinate, okay? The point in that is that I want you to figure out how you can be more specific within your time blocks with how you're spending your time. And if you can, I also recommend batching your time, meaning putting similar tasks together on a certain day or during a certain time block is going to also help you to stop context switching so much and be able to focus more. Because when we're switching from 2 tasks that are unrelated, it often takes us 23 minutes or more to get focused. So the reason why this is important is you want to make sure that you can limit the amount of time you're getting distracted limited and increase the amount of time you're actually able to focus. So when you're planning your day, you are not planning it to the T every single minute like a robot. You're giving yourself grace and space, meaning you have breaks set in your day. You have set times to do certain tasks that are broken down and specific. So when you look at the task, you know exactly what you need to get done. You know exactly how much time you're going to take. And bonus, if you set a timer while you're working, so you can actually track your patterns. And you're also putting in time for buffer, meaning like commute time, time when you may be picking up calls, time when you may have a meeting, time when you need to just take a break, time when you typically like to scroll your phone, time to eat your meals, time to just relax and decompress. Like all of this time has to be built in. I always tell my clients, the only way you get things done if they are planned. If things are not planned into your day, they're never going to get done. I actually was just at an event and I was speaking to a woman and she was like, I just can't seem to get my content done. No matter how much time I try to put into it, like I can't get it done. It doesn't happen. And I asked her, well, is content making in your schedule? And she was like, oh, actually, no, I don't like really set it into my schedule like a meeting. Well, anything you want to happen should be scheduled in like a meeting, right? When I started working out, the reason why I lost 30 pounds and kept it off is because I had my gym time and my meal prep scheduled in my schedule like a meeting. Like I was showing up to it no matter what. Like I was going to meet with my boss, okay? It was serious because I was meeting with me, who was the most important person in my life, right? Okay, so I want you to make sure that you have buffer in your schedule. You have time for all the different things that make up your life that give you balance. And if you don't know what those things are, highly recommend booking a call with me so we can determine what those things are for yourself, because many people don't know what they actually want out of life. And that's a whole nother topic. For my people who seriously struggle with setting a realistic schedule, I want you to first just start off by lowering the bar of expectation, right? I want you to just set up small, meaningful tasks throughout your day. Start stripping away things and giving yourself less things to do so you can ultimately do more impactful things and get more done just by building up the habit of being able to check off what you say you're going to do. If you're someone who sets these large lists, like literally like you have long to-do lists and you're just so constantly fed up with not checking everything off, I want you to just scrap all of that and start really, really small, almost like unbelievably small, like embarrassingly doable things. I want you to start there, because if you can build up momentum and confidence, it's going to build up your productivity over time, and then you'll be able to schedule in more bigger tasks. But starting really small is going to help you. Almost think about it as like, remember those books that were like cake making for dummies? Like that's how I want you to think about it. Like this is like scheduling for dummies. Not that I'm calling you a dummy, but essentially I want you to channel that same energy where if you really struggle with setting up schedules, start super, super small with something small, be able to check it off for a couple of days, and then start giving yourself bigger tasks and more things so you can expand over time. That momentum is going to help you to really be able to learn how to plan realistically. And lastly, remember that your schedule should be filled with things that actually move the needle towards your goals, right? It's not just filled with the things that you have the power to get done just because you can get them done. Make sure that your tasks that you are getting done every single day align with what you actually want out of your life. Step 2 is you need to separate your feelings from facts. This is like one of my favorite rules that I love repeating to myself and to my clients. We have to learn how to regulate our mind and our nervous system. When we don't know how to do those things, we end up procrastinating, getting in our feelings, being scared, not taking action, saying this isn't for me, can I do this? We go into these spirals, right, of self-doubt. The way you get out of this is separate the feeling from the fact. Now, we cannot control our emotions, right? Because emotions just come up, they happen. But after 90 seconds, they go away. And that's the part we don't always hear about. Feelings are based off our thoughts, right? Our beliefs. When we are thinking something or we are telling ourselves something, that is often what we keep reinforcing into our lives. And that's what we start to feel, right? Emotions can go and come very quickly. Feelings are based off of our thoughts and beliefs. So if you are someone who struggles with feelings, who struggles with being able to regulate their emotions and follow through on things or get past their feelings, I want you to start sitting down and really thinking about how you can separate out the circumstance you're going through from your feelings, your thoughts, right? Because oftentimes if we can just look at a circumstance as this is what is going wrong, or this is what is happening in my life currently, and take ourselves out of it, we're able to think about, okay, what thoughts do I have around this circumstance? What feelings do I have around this circumstance? How can I rethink or reframe how I'm looking at it or how I'm thinking about it? Really think about like the silver lining. I have a friend, and it's funny, if you're watching this, you already know who you are, but she is so good at the silver lining. I mean, this girl is the most positive person ever. In high school, we used to literally manifest things together. Like we'd be like, oh, the bus is taking forever. I just wish the bus would come, or I wish someone would come up and pick us up and get us home out of this rain. And when I promise you, anytime we ever manifested together, things would just come into fruition. I remember one time sitting at the bus stop with her, literally saying that, and we were talking about it, just being super positive, and our friend came up in a car and drove us both home. I kid you not. This has happened to me and my friends so many times, but it's the power of your thoughts and what you're putting out into the world and what you're praying to happen in your life, and just believing it will happen. It might not be instant, but it will eventually happen when you're focused on it, because what we are focused on, our world starts to show us, right? Our brain shows us what we are focused on. It's because of the reticular activating system, which is a part of our brain that essentially shows us what we focus on more. So if you want to start really shifting your identity, embodying someone who's more productive, who's more able to get things done on a day-to-day basis, who's able to achieve their goals, who's able to be more positive, and who's able to have more energy and just become the person they want to become, I promise you, learn how to separate your feelings from what's actually going on and focus on what you actually want out of your life, and it's going to make the biggest difference. Two more things I love to do to help me separate feelings from facts and to take more action. I like to think like a pro. I like to think like my highest self. So every single day I read my manifesto, my Living as Her manifesto, and I think about how I can perform more like her and how I can embody and identify with the person I am striving to become. And I also like to set up rewards and consequences. So when I follow through on things like my schedule and I do what I say I'm gonna do, outside of that, other things that's helped me to get out of procrastination loops and to take action is to know my triggers. So I like to have a not to do list, which is essentially things that are not urgent, not important. This is like the delete section of the Eisenhower matrix. These are the things that I need to remind myself not to do. These are the things that I know if I do these things, it's because I'm either bored, I'm either easily distracted in this environment, or I tend to not have motivation around this certain time. Like really look at your patterns, name them so you can literally look back at your list and remind yourself not to do those things. One thing I also like to do is commit to doing things even when they feel uncomfortable. So if you're doing things day to day that are always comfortable, you're going to struggle with getting out of your comfort zone. But we all know when you get out of your comfort zone is how you grow. That's where all the growth happens. That's where all the opportunities happens. So you have to learn how to embrace tough feelings and keep moving through them, because on the other side is always the best things. I'm someone who I will schedule a networking lunch with someone I've never met, right? Because I'm like, I need to get out there and just meet new people. I will schedule in a trip to a place I've never been before. I love that. I love the nuance. I love to just figure it out. Some people, they're terrified of doing those things. I love to do things that make me uncomfortable. One year I did a Fearless February where every single day of the month, I did something scary. I was a part of this like Fearless February Facebook group, and every single day we reported on what we did. And one year I also did it where I did it myself, but I also was like, if someone else will do it with me, I'll give you $1 a day. And by the end of the month, I was giving my friend $30 because she actually did it with me. And so many people gave up by like day 12. But the point of those different challenges and different things is that I was able to build up the muscle of doing things I'm fearful of, doing things that scared me. And it could be small, like stepping into a new store, trying something new you never thought you'd try, going and jumping out of a plane, whatever it is. Like if there's something that scares you, talking to somebody you thought you would never talk to, pitching yourself to someone you never thought you would pitch. That's what I love to do. Anytime I'm like, oh, that person would never talk to me, that person probably wouldn't think, I just go and pitch. I just go and do it. Like those are like the best moments. Really think about how you can get yourself and train yourself to be comfortable doing uncomfortable things, because that's really what's going to make you feel more empowered and more confident, honestly. I have rewards that I give myself. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's new clothing, sometimes it's just checking something off, sometimes it's being able to watch a show. Like you got to figure out what you like to do that's your reward that you can do in a healthy way, because I know I have a friend who's always like, oh, I just want to grab the cookies. Find healthy things that you can do as well that you really like to enjoy. Like maybe it's going on a new walking trail and you can only do it if you get this thing done. Like it can be anything that you actually enjoy doing, but find ways to reward yourself to reinforce in your brain that this is something good that you want to keep doing. And then find consequences. Think about it like disciplining a child. You're rewarding them, it's positive reinforcement, they're gonna do more of it. Consequences show you that this is a punishment, this is something I shouldn't be doing, this is something that I no longer wanna do. This is the part where adults struggle because we have free will, we can do whatever the heck we want without parents telling us what to do anymore. But I want you to parent yourself in a way. I want you to think about, if I don't follow through on what I say I'm gonna do, if I didn't adapt my schedule, if I didn't actually get the things done that I say I was gonna get done, then what is my consequence? Do I now need to take something away for tomorrow? Am I not allowed to go to brunch this weekend? Am I not able to get on the phone like I want to do and yap tonight because I didn't get this thing done? I need to pick up the time. This is where successful people and unsuccessful people differ, right? Because a lot of times unsuccessful people, and that sounds harsh, but I mean, I gotta be real with y'all. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Unsuccessful people tend to just give into their feelings. They tend to still give themselves what they want. They tend to have a pity party. They tend to be the victim. If that is you, that's you. I don't know why you're watching this video, to be honest, because you can go ahead and do that. If you're someone who doesn't want to be like that, you want to be a successful person, this is where you make the change. Give yourself the consequence. Train yourself to follow through on what you say you're going to do. And if you don't get to do the things you want to get to do. You don't get to play the game for hours. You don't get to hang out with your friends because you didn't do what you say you're going to do. And you're not able to build up that self-trust because you're not doing what you say you want to do. And we all know self-trust and self-love is so important to be able to follow through on what we say we want to do and to follow through on what we are set to achieve in our lifetime. We only have but so much time. Think about what your 95-year-old self would be so glad that you did. That person would be glad that you set up rewards instead of consequences and actually learned and trained yourself how to follow through on what you said you were going to do. This is the part of discipline that I see the biggest shift in people. They either are like, oh, I don't know how to do this, too hard, I can't do it. And they let their thoughts take over. They let their feelings take over. Instead of just separating out those feelings from the actual facts. You can do it. You can do anything. You just need to keep tweaking, keep learning, get the right mentor, learn the right thing. There's always a strategy that's going to help you if you can just persist and commit and keep going. You can literally do anything. You are enough. All right. Okay. Let's get into the next step. The third step is to make work flow and to make it fun. Now, the reason why I say flow is because it's the way to kind of tap in. You know, you're in flow when you're just super focused, you're able to just get things done. The way to tap into that flow is to really make sure that you are cutting out distractions. You're setting your environment up for work whenever you need to get things done. You're not just thinking about, okay, here's what I have on my schedule, but where am I doing it? What's the best place to do it? Where can I do it around other people who are also doing that thing? Or can I be in a quiet environment? Or do I need to be in an environment where I'm listening to a certain type of music? Like, you figure out how you're going to curate your day based off what's going to get you into that flow state to make you focus. Also think about how can you make things more fun. If you're someone who's like, I can't do things that are boring, I can't do repeatable things that just make me just want to pull my hair out, then I want you to figure out how you can make things more fun. If you have a report you have to do every single month and you don't like doing it every single month, how can you reward yourself to make it fun, right? If I get this done, then I can do XYZ. If I get this done, then I also get to listen to this podcast I really enjoy. If I get this done, I also get to listen to a soundtrack that keeps me upbeat and alive, right? I really like to listen to like really good upbeat music that I enjoy while I'm doing really boring tasks. Like when I'm updating my weekly tracker, which I don't like to do. I know it's amazing because after I look at it, I'm like, oh, here's all the data about my content. Here's all the data about my clients and my sales calls and whatever else. But I don't like doing it. I never liked doing reports. I didn't like doing it when I worked in advertising. I never understood why we had to do them, but I also know why we have to do them at the same time. But I never wanted to do them. I used to always try to like delegate it to like my assistants. But the reason why it was important to build that skill up is because then I was able to figure out how to actually get things done that make me uncomfortable, and I learned how to make it more fun by adding in an element of something I really like to do while doing the thing that isn't so fun. Another thing that can make your work more desirable and pleasurable is gamifying it. So setting a timer and just working on something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe an hour, and letting the time go down and you're watching the time as you go about it. I really like doing that because it helps me be more conscious of my time and help me to get things done faster because I'm literally timing it and I know I'm on the clock. You'd be surprised at what you can get done in like 20 minutes. A lot of times I'm like, oh, I don't feel like cleaning up the kitchen, but I'm like, okay, let me set a timer and put on a podcast and see how fast I can do it. And a lot of times I'm able to get it done way quicker than if I just was like dilly-dallying. It probably would have took me an hour or two. Step 4 is accountability and reflection. So something I like to do every single day is I like to visualize how my day will go in the beginning of the day. I highly recommend doing that. I do that every single day in my morning routine. If you want to learn more about morning routines, check out episode 45 where I go into depth about morning routines. But something I like to do in the morning is really visualize myself completing my tasks, feeling accomplished, how my day will go, like sequence by sequence. How am I making different strides towards my bigger goals? Like I literally watch myself doing it in real time in my mind. And the reason why I'm so big on visualization is because I actually read a study where the person who visualized themselves making the shot, like in basketball, actually made more shots than the person who practiced. And I thought that was really, really crazy. Like they literally studied two different people. Someone who was practicing every day, shooting, but wasn't visualizing. Another person who did not practice shooting, but visualized themselves making a shot, visualized their technique, visualized themselves doing it every single day. And when it came down to the competition where they both figured out who can make more shots, the person who was visualizing made more than the person who was practicing it every single day. And that just comes to show how much our brain wants to focus on the thing that we want to get done, but we have to give it the time and space to actually do so. So visualize how you want your day to go. Take time to reflect on what's working, what's not. Really be intentional about how you're taking action. When you take the time to take a step back before you take a step forward, you're gonna do so with more intention. In terms of accountability, people with accountability are 95% more likely to get things done, right? That is why coaches need coaches, therapists need therapists, mentors need mentors. Like we all need someone else to help us be accountable. So it's really nice to really have friends who will hold you accountable, or, you can hold yourself accountable through using a tracker or hiring a coach. Like having someone hold you accountable is going to make you want to do things, because most people will disappoint themselves, but they will not disappoint someone else. And the way you can set this up for yourself is literally by hiring someone to be your accountability partner, finding an accountability partner in your community, in a group, or with a friend. You can pick how you want to go about it, but you need to have some type of accountability for everything you want to achieve in your life. I've noticed that a lot of ambitious women struggle to celebrate themselves, but you really want to take the time to celebrate yourself. It's so important to reinforce good habits and good things that you're doing, because then you will do more of those habits and things that you're doing. I used to struggle with this all the time. I used to actually have family members who would laugh at me and say, like, you're always on to the next, like you don't know how to just be happy in the moment. And I did struggle with that because I was such a high achiever that I was just trying to achieve, trying to check the box, trying to get to the next thing, trying to get to the next level. And it was impacting my emotions and my energy and how I viewed myself, right? And the way I was able to get rid of those things was I had to start noticing what was working. I had to take a step back to not just adjust where it needed to be adjusted or focus on improving, but I needed to celebrate where I was at now, because when I can celebrate where I'm at now, I'll be able to get to better and bigger heights. But I first have to take the time to celebrate myself. So this is really important. I want you to learn how to celebrate yourself. I want you to learn how to stop telling yourself that you need to get back on the wagon because you've gotten off the wagon. And then you just realize that there's one continuous wagon that you are just always going to be on. So give yourself grace. Be okay when you take some wrong turns, as long as you keep turning and keep pivoting, keep going straight, keep doing whatever you got to do to stay on that continuous ride to get to where you want to get. Because everybody wants to get to a destination, right? We're always fantasizing about what the destination will look like. And yes, I want you to visualize the destination, but I also want you to visualize the journey and think about the journey and really enjoy the journey, because most of our lives is spent on the journey. Most of our lives is not spent on the destination. We get to the destination and then we want to go on to the next thing. We only spend but so much time celebrating ourselves to the destination. So we have to learn how to really enjoy the journey. And this comes through having accountability. It comes with being able to reflect and really think about our lives and be intentional. So go ahead and work through these steps. Pick one of the steps to start off with that really resonates with you so that you can start following through when you say you're going to do. Let's fast track you. Get on a one-on-one consultation. Let's talk about how I can help you achieve your goals 6 times faster and save 10 or more hours every single week to grow your career, to grow your business, to be able to be consistent and do more of what matters most to you without any burnout. If you liked today's episode, please be sure to comment something you learned today or something you're going to start doing, as well as share this with friends who you know would benefit, who wants to stop procrastinating, who want to get what they say they're going to do every single day done in a peaceful manner. I'll see you guys in the next podcast episode. Take care. Bye.